inside the mind of a former fat kid. That's me. For those of you guys who don't know me or don't know my story, I was a former fat kid. I grew up my whole life overweight, insecure, self-conscious, not happy with who I was, very negative self-image. And I know a lot of people deal with this. I have a lot of experience with it. I'm a coach, so I've worked with a lot of people who have dealt with this as well. And I want to talk about the mindset and how your mindset changes and what actually changes from being either overweight, chubby, or even obese to then working over the years, getting in shape. Do you still carry out some of those former fat kid tendencies with you, or do you leave them all behind? Some of you watching this video, it might be hard to relate. Maybe you've never been overweight or you're not overweight, but then you probably wouldn't have clicked on the video. But to give you guys a little bit of background, I've been on all ends of the spectrum before. So I've been skinny. I've been skinny fat. I've been contest lean for my physique show. And one thing that I could say is that they all come with a negative self-image in some regard. So even if we've gotten to the point of putting ourselves on YouTube, showing progress pictures on Instagram, and we've gained confidence over the years, there are still those tendencies that stick in the back of your head that are sometimes hard to get rid of, and sometimes they actually never go away. Some of you guys have heard this before, some of you haven't, but growing up, my story was I was so insecure that I avoided any situation that I thought was gonna make me feel uncomfortable. So if all my friends are going to the beach, I wasn't going to the beach. I would just tell them, sorry, I can't make it. I'm on call for work and I have to stay closer to home. If we were going in a pool, I was going in the pool with my shirt on, which sucked because that's just drawing more attention to me. So I'm already uncomfortable. Now I'm the kid with the shirt on in the pool and everyone's probably looking at me because of that. Whereas if I just had the confidence to take my shirt off, it'd probably be a very different story. Because when you go to the pool or when you go to a beach, you're not looking at people who are overweight and pointing at them and making fun of them because you're focused on yourself and the people that you're with. The last thing you're going to do is start to think about what someone else looks like. And if you are, that's probably something that you have to deal with yourself. Maybe you have your own insecurities and you're self-conscious about something, so projecting that on someone else makes you feel good. But for those people who are overweight, I promise, if you're in a gym and you're just not comfortable in there, no one's judging you. They're focused on themselves. And if they are judging you, to be quite honest, they're an asshole. But trust me, I know how much it sucks and I understand how uncomfortable it could be. I'm sure some of you guys have done this before. You might laugh at it and I laugh at it now, but you try a shirt on, it feels a little bit too tight, so you pull this maneuver. And you start stretching it out so it fits you just a little bit more comfortable. That's something that I did with every single shirt that I tried on. And still to this day, if something's like a little too tight, I'm like, maybe I should stretch it out a little bit, or maybe I should size up. These are things that stick with you. And even though over the years I've developed a lot more confidence and a much better self-image because I understand that what I look like doesn't determine my self-worth, but these things just stick in your head and they're really hard to get rid of and they're hard to manage. But some of the things that I've dealt with, I've talked about orthorexia. So I've made videos about how I had this unhealthy obsession with healthy eating. So I was so fixated on hitting every macro down to the gram. I couldn't go out to a restaurant because I couldn't take my food with me. So I've been to that extreme before. And maybe that has something to do with being a former fat kid. But we count calories obsessively. We worry that every single thing we eat is going to get stored as fat. You have a piece of birthday cake and you wake up the next morning and you're a little bit bloated or you're experiencing water retention, you automatically think that's fat. You forget that bloating occurs and that water retention is a real thing. You might even step on the scale the next morning after a night out. You're 5 pounds up, so what do? You punish yourself. These are the things that we deal with and they suck. I know how bad they suck. And even as your confidence grows, let's just say you're in the gym, you got a great pump, you take your shirt off, you're feeling good, and then the next morning you wake up, so you haven't eaten anything, you didn't drink anything, you have no pump, and you're sitting there with your shirt off and you look at yourself and you're not happy with what you see. This is all normal shit and it takes time to understand and to get into that mindset that, again, how you look doesn't determine your self-worth and it does take work to develop that new self-identity. One major thing I've struggled with, and as a coach I've seen a lot of people struggle with, is if they're currently leaner or they worked so hard to diet down and lose the fat because they were overweight and now they've gained some confidence because they're lean and they want to build muscle and they want to get stronger and build strength, they're afraid to go into that calorie surplus. Even if you tell them it's a lean bulk and you're not going to put on fat, or you might just put on a little bit. So the goal is minimize the amount of fat gain and put on as much muscle and strength as possible. So that takes a long time to do. So you're not going to dirty bulk, but still in the back of your head, I don't want to eat more because I'm scared it will be stored as fat. So now you don't put on muscle, you don't get stronger because you're worrying that you're going to get fat. This is something that, again, a lot of people deal with. So I've struggled with all this before, and over the years of working on myself and working with so many different people, I've come to realize that it's something that needs to actually be worked on. You don't wake up and all of a sudden you're a new person and you're happy with how you look. It doesn't work like that. It takes time, it takes patience, but if you're willing to actually put in that work, and I'm not just talking about work in the kitchen or work in the gym. I'm talking about working on yourself as a human being, as an individual. It will definitely pay off. Just give it time. And maybe you need to hire a coach. Maybe you need some extra accountability. Maybe you need to surround yourself with more positive people. All of these things can definitely help you out. But I can tell you, you don't have to carry all the former fat kid tendencies with you your whole life. Some of them might stick around, but you can change and you can get yourself into a different mindset. So if you guys have any questions about this kind of stuff, please leave a comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help out. That's what I'm here to do. I want to help as many people as possible. And I want people to just use me as an example. I'm here opening up and sharing my experiences because I truly believe they are valuable and they can help people out there. That's why I put myself out there. A lot of people wouldn't know this story if I didn't share it. When I started on YouTube, I wasn't overweight, so people didn't know where I came from. A lot of people might just assume if they saw me today that I've always been going to the gym my whole life and I was always leaner in shape. It doesn't work like that, and that's the reason I put myself out there, so I can connect with you guys and help you along the way. So again, please, if you have any questions, or even if you just want to email me because you need someone to share your story with, feel free to shoot me an email. My email address is in the description box below, but I will be making more videos on topics like this. Even for the people who want to get shredded or step on stage, I'm going to share my experience with how it was, and I'm going to get other people to share their experience, people who have stepped on stage before and what it feels like. So I'm trying to get all areas and all ends of the spectrum. So the people on this end, the people on this end, and just bring it all together so I can help as many people as possible. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this resonated with at least one of you. I'm sure it's hit home for a few people, but that's my mission. If I could just help one person and make an impact, then I feel like I've done my job. But the goal is to help a lot more than that. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate the support, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.